Good afternoon and welcome to Noonday Prayer. My name is Tim Dunn. I would like to read one of my favorite passages from the Old Testament book of 1 Kings, chapter 19, verses 11 through 16, according to the Revised Standard Version of the Bible. He, the Lord, said to Elijah, "Go out and stand on the mountain before the Lord, for the Lord is about to pass by." Now there was a great wind, so strong that it was splitting mountains and breaking rocks in pieces before the Lord. But the Lord was not in the wind. And after the wind an earthquake, but the Lord was not in the earthquake. And after the earthquake a fire, but the Lord was not in the fire. And after the fire a sound of sheer silence. When Elijah heard it, he wrapped his face in his mantle and went out and stood at the entrance of the cave. Then there came a voice to him that said, "What are you doing here, Elijah?" He answered, "I have been very zealous for the Lord, the God of hosts. For the Israelites have forsaken your covenant, thrown down your altars, and killed your prophets with the sword. I alone am left, and they are seeking my life to take it away." Then the Lord said to him, "Go, return on your way to the wilderness of Damascus, and when you arrive, you shall anoint Hazael as king over Aram. Also you shall anoint Jehu, son of Nimshi, as king over Israel, and you shall anoint Elisha, son of Shaphat, of Abel Meholah, as prophet in your place." In the biblical story, Elijah the prophet was on the run for his life due to his prophetic ministry of speaking truth to power. He had retreated from his ministry and was held up in a cave. He was in need of physical, emotional, and spiritual renewal and direction for his life and ministry. The Lord tells Elijah to stand on the mountain as he passes by. Then we are told that the Lord does not manifest his presence to Elijah in the wind, or in an earthquake, or in a fire. But Elijah hears God's voice in a sound of sheer silence, and receives God's direction for his life and ministry. The sound of sheer silence reminds me of the eye of a hurricane. We have entered the hurricane season. It's a time when we are vigilant about the weather, staying tuned to weather forecasts to prepare for possible hurricanes and tropical storms traveling up the Atlantic seacoast approaching our area. Over the past months, our country and much of the world have been in other types of storms. They are the storm of the coronavirus pandemic, with suffering, unemployment, and waning economy in its wake, and the storm of social unrest over racism and social injustice. And during this difficult time of multiple storms, we may have felt like Elijah, held up in a cave of self-quarantine or mandatory quarantine and social restrictions, separated from business and from socializing. We may need direction for what lies ahead, as Elijah did. Maybe we too can find renewal and direction in a sheer sound of silence. So during this dual hurricane season, let us spend some time alone with God in silence, looking for renewal and direction for our lives. We might spend the time slowly reading and reflecting on a biblical story or passage, or silently praying, or simply sitting silently as a response to God's invitation, according to Psalm 46, to be still and know God's presence. May God's peace be with us all, and have a good day.